So, hello everybody. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. Another inspiring episode, I promise, because today it's gonna be about, we're gonna have a royalty. The motivational queen herself is here, and she's going to help us to understand how we can keep first the winning mindset or develop the winning mindset if we don't have it. So it's going to be very inspiring, and we're going to have the opportunity to get, to get a very good discussion, especially in this time of challenges, on how we can keep things, look at things from a positive point of view and still focus on winning and pushing, even if we have all those challenges and all this uncertainty around us. So don't go anywhere. Just for those who don't know the motivational queen, I'm talking about Wanda de Willis, and she will have the opportunity to introduce herself in more detail. But just to say a few words about her, she's the owner of Peak Real Estate and Investment Services. She's based in Atlanta, and she's a certified member of the John Maxwell team of leaders, speakers, and trainers. And she's also a business coach. She speaks. She's a talk show. She's been in the media industry for quite some time, and she has accomplished so much. So I'm not going to expand here. She's going to have the opportunity to introduce herself and really, start to enlighten and ignite, us in today in the show. So don't go anywhere. Get ready as usual. Get your pen, get your paper, get your notebook, whatever you want, and so that you don't lose anything at all, and that's something that I want you to take from this show. We bring you the champion, we bring you the thought leaders, we bring you the influencer, we bring you the expert, and we really want you to get this knowledge, share it, but also get the opportunity to implement it in your life. So don't go anywhere. I'm bringing Wanda, the motivational queen, just now, and let's start this show and start learning.
But as I got older, I started to be more aware of some of the abusive sides of
So welcome, the motivational queen is with us today. And sorry again, I think I said the wrong last name. It's Hollis, not Willis. And because I know you under the motivational queen, so I really always call you like that. So welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It's just such a pleasure to have you and to be able to get, this motivation that we're all looking for, especially right now with all the challenges, the uncertainty, and all the ambiguity that we live in right now. So just before, we get into the conversation about, the mindset, I really want you to, introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who you are and what is your story.
Well, I want to first say thank you, Morelli, for having me today. It is just a pleasure to be here in this time. And like you said, it's a lot of stuff going on. So we got to kind of fight through truth and fear and love and all the stuff to make life work for us. But for me, I'm just a well, I can't say small time girl. I was born in a small place from a big city, from Michigan. And I always give honor and tribute to my ancestors, my mom, my grandparents, because they are who made me who I am today, being that they were leaders in the community, business owners. And I just grew up in that environment, the oldest of two brothers. Started business very early in life. I think I started my very first business at 17.
Wow.
And been in business ever since then. Have done a lot, too much stuff to name. But at my core, I'm always attracted to do what I'm passionately driven for, helping other people, doing things that make sense, health wise, emotionally wise, spiritually wise. All of these things have to be in alignment for me to be in harmony with myself, and that's very important. So I've done a lot of things. Right now I operate on about 6 different platforms in media. My specialty is media marketing. I
Mhm.
help entrepreneurs expand their brand through getting the more exposure. I'm also an author, so we're in the midst right now of a book collaboration, Wake Up Winning Volume 2, which this is more people coming together to just spread the message of hope and love and prosperity and getting over and getting on with life. So, that's just who I am. I'm just a person that's out here trying to figure it out like everybody else, committed to my win, dedicated to the cause. That's
Mhm.
me.
That's actually powerful because as with what's going on with the pandemic and then all the economic problems resulting from it, a lot of people are actually really down, and it's really important to have people like you still have this very positive spirit and really still going for the win and looking more into the future, more than looking at what you've lost or what you've not been able to do because of what's happening. So I mean, since we're going to talk about the winning mindset, one question that I have is, you said that you started really young, in entrepreneurship, but is there a breakthrough point where you realize you were really meant for it, or was it just something that because your parents were doing it, you basically in a way continue their legacy, if I can express myself like that?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And I guess the answer for me would be I think I was just born into my destiny was just born into this role. I
Mm-hmm.
later learned that also we have a strong background of communication. So I like to think that we're always connected to our ancestors, the things
Mm-hmm.
that we know how to do and the things that we want to do. Sometimes it's connected to that path that they've kind of led before us. So with
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship, it really became clear to me when I have a hard time working for other people, or I go in there. I've had jobs. Now, don't get me wrong. Had
Mm-hmm.
jobs, but I always go in there with this mindset of authority, meaning that I want to make it a better place. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm always started. I don't care what position I start. It always come down to this operational manual could be better. Building stronger customer client relationships. So I always find myself at a role of making things better. And then I had a breaking point. My breaking point was, I think I want to say around 2014, where a company that I was with, they merged, At that point, I decided that I'm taking all my skill sets and I'm not going to work for anybody,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say ever again, but that's how I felt in my spirit. Now, if I have to eat those words, I'm okay with it. But at that time, in that moment, I said, I have so much information to where
Mm-hmm.
I got to move out of my own way, and I had just have to execute a solid plan. And that's what I was determined to do at that point. But prior to that, it was always going in, serving, and serving from my capacity of how can we make this better. So I was never selfish with the information that I had in me, and I always wanted to learn more. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's and I think that's sometime what's happening is that we do what we know, and what we know is sometime we go to school and then we get a job and we serve because that's what we've been trained for, and that's a kind of domestication. And you realize, like in your case, and it was also in my case, that you start to realize, okay, I mean, I'm becoming redundant here, so I
mhm,
need to find something, I need to tweak, because I have enough information, I have enough experience, I can do it myself. Actually,
right.
I don't need, at least lead the effort myself. I don't need to be under, make somebody's dream come true. I have to work on my dream now, and
Mhm,
I have now all the knowledge, all the expertise, and it's just about really just do it. And this just do it, it's sometimes difficult to birth, because we tend to
absolutely.
just stay, attached to what we know. So just, to because you've obviously now have a lot of experience, and you develop, a certain mindset, and you're now coaching people and helping them to have this winning mindset that you always talking about. So before we go deep into the conversation, what do you feel, how do you define a winning mindset?
My short answer, that's a great question, but I guess, if you can always go to Webster's dictionary version, but my
Mm-hmm,
short version would be just that relentless attitude to never give up on
mm-hmm,
yourself
mm-hmm,
and or your dreams, like to never give up, to never ever give up, to refuse to yield to the no. Like, what does that mean? Becoming, you familiar with that game, as a child at fairs where you hit them on the head and they pop back up?
mm-hmm,
I would
mm-hmm,
say, like, that's like the definition of the winning mindset. No matter how many times you get hit on top of the head, you gotta pop back up. You have to
mm-hmm,
pop back up. You cannot, and that game is really quick, right? You put your
mm-hmm,
quarter in
mm-hmm,
there and all of them, and you gotta, so the game is about, there is things coming to us that are, their role is to pop us upside the head. Our
mm-hmm,
role is to come back up. So that's
mm-hmm.
that winning mindset. No matter what you're going through, always be willing to pop back up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's right, especially in this environment where things are changing quickly, and change is really the constant. So you need to be able to rebound in a way, and not really let it stay down, because otherwise, it's the end of the story.
It is.
And so you have to be able to rebound, and even if you get, eat all the time, like you said. And I like the analogy with this game, because it actually, telling the whole story about, never ever giving up. So we have who do we have here? So we have Brenda is here. Hi, ladies. And so she's starting to enjoy. And welcome, Brenda. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Brenda.
Um, it's good to have you here and to participate in this conversation, in this very important conversation. So we will just take a short break, and we'll come back and with Wanda, the multidimensional queen, and continue our conversation on the winning mindset. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be back.
Wanda is considered one of the most passionate and positive people you'll ever meet, both personally and professionally. Her inspirational mentoring, sales, and customer service training has dubbed her to be Wanda D. Hollis, the motivational queen. She launched Wanda D TV, a revolutionary online real estate talk show where local businesses and community leaders discuss their services, issues, and concerns. Wanda is passionate about helping people achieve their goals and dreams. She has gone on to pursue many passions, including her I Am Enough talk show, having a seat on the West Georgia Board of Realtors, author of inspirational and motivational books, and also a strong supporter of several nonprofit organizations within her community. Wanda believes that there's no such thing as bad decisions, only regrets of not making the right attempt. For speaking engagements or to book her for your next event or conference, please visit www.iamenough365.com.
So welcome back. My guest today is the motivational queen, Wanda, and she is the queen of never ever giving up as well. So we've had the opportunity to start our conversation on the winning mindset, and we're going to go deep now a little bit more on that. And Wanda, what do you think are the key things, that we need to have to develop this winning mindset?
Well, the key things, I would say one of the key things is to assess where you are. That's the first thing. You have to always do a self-evaluation to assess where you are, because I find that a lot of times people don't even know that they're not demonstrating a winning mindset. A lot of times we get tricked in a matrix, and we're just too busy being robotic, and we're actually not going after the things that are that should be relevant to us or that are important to us. So the first thing comes with evaluation. Then the next thing that you have to do is you have to want to change. You have to want it. You remember people saying things like, if I haven't did it by now, I probably won't ever do it. That's like that's like shooting yourself in the foot before you even get in a race. You've already discredited yourself. So if you decided that you want something, the next thing that you do is you have to set a plan to execute. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever it looks like with you. And then it's so important. I talk to people all the time, and they say, well, I don't want to write down anything. I don't want to, I just want to like operate from the seat of my pants. That is the worst thing you can do in trying to manifest. You have to be so crystal clear with what you want. So if you don't set this plan, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to hit the mark because you don't even know what your target is. So after you've done that and you got your plan, now you have to be held accountable. If you set a plan and you don't, and I don't care whether you're paying for a coach or you don't, or you're paying, if you, for instance, you can get into a group, any group, they had thousands of groups all over the planet. You get into a group and you say, listen here, group members, this is what I have to do. This is what I want to do. And I want you to hold me accountable. So we have to be transparent. After you set that thing, and you have to really, really be transparent in letting people know how they can help you. So if I'm trying to do anything and I say, well, I need you to call me at 6 o'clock every morning and wake me up, and then if I don't answer the call, then I'm guilty. Like
no commitment.
Like no commitment, right? So that's my other thing, is it's a commitment. It takes a commitment to win. To maintain that winning mindset, it takes a commitment from you, from the orchestrator, from the person that writes down this, that the dreamer. You have to have this unshakable commitment. And that's that no matter what attitude that you develop. No matter what, I'm going to keep doing it no matter what, no matter how many times I have to shift, no matter how many times I have to pivot. And COVID is a prime example of that. You know, the way I used to do business, I don't do it anymore like that. You know, I can't for various reasons, you know, from the laws and stuff and the different mandates that they put in place. So you have to learn how to shift. But if you don't commit to your win, then it doesn't even matter. The only people aren't stressing that don't have anything going on. You know, but if you got something going on, then you're trying to figure out, like, how can I execute? How can I get it done? You know, what do I need to do? And another important key is watch who in your associations are. You know, are these beneficial? Are they dragging your spirit down, or are they lifting you up? Are they pushing you? Are they inspiring you? We want to make sure that we take a serious look at our time and who we're giving this time to, and who we're connected to, in terms of, is that person that I spend so much time with, are they helping me get to that win, or are they drawing me away from that win? So we talk about dreams, and a dream is supposed to pull you forward. You know, and this is why it's important that people, as winners, that you continue to have dreams, that you continue to allow things to download into your life, to where it continues to pushes you forward. Because if we don't move, we're going to move some kind of way. We're either going to move, we're going to get moved back because we got old stuff pulling us back. You know, so you moving back and you stay stuck, or you move to the side because you're not focused. So you taking your hand off the prize because you're moving to the side, you're not focused. So you have to have that dream in front of you to pull you forward. You know, to pull you forward. That's what you need to do. This is, no matter what's going on, COVID, non-COVID, you have to stay in this productive state of being. You know, so yeah. So.
And those are really important points, because it looks easy, but people don't do it, and that's the thing, and that's why, you know, my question is how do you what is efficient? Is it more efficient to have a coach, somebody? Is it really about, you know, your association, which is more of a, you know, pulling you up or down, or is it, you know, something else? So what are the strategies for that?
Well, it's all of that. You gotta, and in my mind, because I've had, there was a time in my business where I didn't have a coach, and I was like, okay, well, I don't need it. But then I got to a point in my business where I said, I can't go further by myself. I need support. I need somebody to come in and help me strategize, because my mind, you know, is not enough. Like, you can only take yourself as far as your mind will allow you to go. So therefore, getting a coach, and another thing for me, for getting a coach, anytime I have to write a check to somebody, then I'm going to be 100% committed. That's the difference of people. Your friends will come to you knowing that you have the secret sauce, knowing that you can help them out. They'll take the information, but they may not apply it. As when you employ a coach, then you should apply it. Now, granted, I've worked with people and they didn't apply it, but they paid. So it wasn't a waste of my time. But if you're really going after your win, you want to have all of that. You want to have a great coach in that area that you're looking to grow in. You want to have great associations. You either want to have mentors, and you can also be a mentor, because that keeps you strengthened in that area that you work in. You know, for you to constantly be giving and constantly be pouring your gifts into somebody else and helping them out. So y'all all could grow. I call them partnerships more so than coach, mentor, coach, you know, coach, student relationship, just partnerships, formulating that right partnership.
Okay, and it's important, like you said, especially now with what's going on with COVID, to really understand, take time to do a real audit, a real audit, have people, coaches to actually tell you, where are your gaps, and for you to also understand where are your gaps, so that you can identify people that you can partner with to fill those gaps that you have, because otherwise, like you said, you can only, reach a certain level and where your mind is bringing you, and that's it. And you probably get stuck as well at, at a certain level without going anywhere. So you really need this
Absolutely.
added help, and that's, but sometimes, people don't ask for the help. So how do you deal with people like that, because as a coach, also as a winning person, you might actually, you probably bumped into people where you see the potential, but you just realize that they're not, they're stuck somewhere. So how do you deal with people like that?
Well, you absolutely right. We can see somebody else's potential and they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really deal with it. You have to, you have to learn how to move past somebody else's, what's a good word? Their decision. If their decision is to not move into their gift, you have to let it go. I've had to do that many, many, many times, knowing that a person was gifted and was good at a certain thing, and really, really felt like, wow, that is an area that you really should be working in. But if they refuse to see it, there is nothing that we can do. You and I, we can't do anything for that. No, the person has to make up their mind that they want to change. That's what it is. Now I can quote scripture. I can send you quotes. I can send you my quote, somebody else's quotes. You can read all of the books on the shelf. But until you say you've had enough and enough is enough and you want something more, that's the only time where anybody's going to make that pivot and start operating in their gift. They're not going to do it because of what I say. They're going to have to come have that meeting heart to heart within themselves and say, listen, this is what I need to do. And at that point, now we can make some stuff happen. Now we can strategize. Now you can get held accountable.
Yeah. So basically you have to be ready, because sometimes that's, I don't know about you, but I had people who really, they understand the need of having a mentor, a need of having a coach. But when they get into, even while paying, they're just not, committed. And
Right.
You really want to help them. But as you say, if they don't make the decision, then you can't do anything. They have to be, their own leaders in the process, and you basically feed them and help them where they need your help, and that's a very important things to say. So we still have Brenda here. She's I needed these messages, ladies. So yes, very important messages that very important nuggets that we're getting today from the motivational queen, and really going deep into the conversation. And that's very important. So we got to take another break, and we will continue the conversation on this topic. So stay with us. We're going to come back in a few minutes.
So have you ever read a Bible story that stuck out to you, that you could relate to, and you said, oh my gosh, I understand, that's my life? Have you ever read a character in the Bible that stuck out?
Introducing the visionaries and co-authors of this phenomenal project.
Elder Tommy and Evangelist Rosalind Willis, Barbara Fields, Christine Green, Mirielle Tulakima, Brenda Flores Robles, Dr. Charmaine Powell, Lakeisha Port, Terrence Lee, Minister Sean Saxton, Elder Tommy Willis, Dr. India White, Evangelist Keisha Snowden, Leon Fields, Evangelist Rosalind Willis, Pastor Erica Fulton, Missionary Tanika Thomas, Dr. Leah Renning, Barbara Slater, Cherish Jackson,
Prophetess Jennifer Gibbons,
and Dr. Betty Speaks.
So we are back. We are back with the motivational queen, and we are talking about, the winning, keeping the winning mindset. So as a business coach, it must be very busy right now, assisting, people, because, some people have, at the age of losing their businesses. They're, very distressed by the uncertainty that's going on. And so what is the key thing that you think they should, how do you help them? How do you really help them to stay the course and really still keeping this winning mindset that we've been talking about?
One of the things where it comes to business, your why, why did you start the business in the beginning? If you can keep that focus on the why, then the how will work itself out. Mm-hmm. During this time is uncertain, but aren't all times uncertain? Every day you wake up, it's a certain uncertainty. Mm-hmm. Getting past that is just a matter of making the decision that you're going to stay in action. So once you decide that why matters, why did you even start the business in the first place? Why is it important? Who are you serving? Because a business requires people. And if you're not about the consumer or your client, then you probably shouldn't be in business in the first place. So it's always about that. Your why will keep you focused. And then the next thing is to be patient. During this time should teach us patience. Mm-hmm. We have to maintain this sense of patience in not rushing things. If they say what patience is a virtue, but is it really, mm-hmm. and do we really practice that? We don't. We want it fast and we want it now. We live in a microwavable world. But mm-hmm. with everything going on now, it's teaching us how to be patient. It's teaching mm-hmm. us that you have to sit down. I know when we were first quarantined, it was in March. And mm-hmm. my last show I did in the studio was March the 15th. And I came home. And, you sit down for 2 weeks, it's not bad. You sit down for a month, it starts to get, one way or the other. And then it's 2 mm-hmm. months and 3 months. And you're like, whoa, what's going on here? Well, if that mm-hmm. doesn't teach you patience, and then you should develop this appreciation from where you are. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you want to do. Where are you now? And when I'm talking about the now, I'm talking about where are you now in your emotions? Mm-hmm. Where are you now? To maintain positive attitude, mindset, clarity, it all basically comes out to same thing, but I don't say anything different. It's all the same. Mm-hmm. It's all the same. We have to learn how to love ourselves more, love ourselves where we are, forgive. Forgiveness is keys to establish any type of relationship, whether it's business or personal, and then set action plans and be accountable. Mm-hmm. Take those steps. take those steps. Let's do it. We can do it.
And you're right, because we were so used to being rushed, basically just do one thing at a time, do one thing at a time, really becoming like robots. Really, you start
Mhm.
something, you finish, you start something, you don't really take the time to analyze or take the time to understand where you are. Actually, it's like the right race all the time. And with the pandemic, it forces us to just sit down and do a real audit of our businesses, a real audit of our emotions, a real audit of, and understand our why, because you were talking about the why just right now, understand the why and where we are, in this journey toward our why, something that we would not do if we were still, having this high space type of
Mhm.
world. And in a way, the pandemic becomes a blessing in disguise. I know it hurts first, but then, when you look at it from in the long term, it's kind of a blessing, because it helps you to optimize, your business and how you do business, but at the same time also understand really your own emotional state and where you are, and how
Absolutely.
you can, bring the right emotions when you are challenged. So that's a very key one. And for yourself, obviously you now master all of this, but what have been really the most difficult experience that you've experienced professionally? I mean, obviously now there's this challenge, but because you have the tools, the strategies, it's probably not, an issue for you. But have you been in a position where you just realize, I'm really in trouble here, and then not really being able to manage it? And how did you manage that to get, this winning spirit and get out of it?
Well, for me, this transition, and I'm gonna talk about the recent transition of coming off the road, because I did a lot of speaking engagements, like live speaking, did a lot of traveling prior to that. Our network, we had a lot of people, coming in and out. So that I had to, we had to cease and desist with that type of movement. What I did was then I just increased everything else that I could, which therefore I took on more media support roles, learning how to help be of assistance with in other people's projects, say work behind the scenes a little bit more, break out my other skill sets are, just do other things. So because we're multifaceted people, and we have more than one gift or talent. So for making the shift, it was okay, let me start doing some other things that I'm also good at. Plus in my downtime, I found other things to focus on, like my health, for instance, some things that I had been kind of not neglecting, not putting up in the forefront. So for me, when things aren't working out in one area, then I can always shift into saying, let me look at another area where I can control, where I do have the tools, or I can find the tools, but basically I am in charge. Certain things, when we not in charge of that, we have to learn how to take our hand off of it and focus on what we are in charge of. So for instance, just started back up the 100 days of motivation to manifestation, and I got that from, spirit said, hey, you need to start back doing, the motivation in the morning. So at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every morning, I'm doing motivation to manifestation. And I was told to do 100 days. This was me and spirit said do 100 days. I was like, what, 100 days? Like, yeah, 100 days. Like, ooh, 100 days. So that's a big commitment. That's not like no 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, whatever. It's like 100 days. Are you kidding me? who's gonna, like what? So so here I was, doing it, one day at a time, one day at a time. And now we're up to day 25. Can you believe it? From 100 days, we got 75 more days to go. But it's when you just take what you're still passionate about. See, because I never lose my passion. And I think that's what kind of makes me different than a lot of people. A lot of people buy into things happening outside of them. I'm only interested with what's happening inside of me. I'm only interested with how I'm reacting and how I am responding to situations. So knowing that I can't control what the government is doing to a point, I could stand up and protest and all that kind of stuff, but I have to select my energy. Do I want to put all my energy over there? No, I'll put some of my energy over there, but I'll also giving my energy to me because I am worthy of the energy that I need. So that's how I handle hard times. When in 2017, I lost my mom and my granddad and my grandmother all within 5 months from each other.
Wow. Wow.
And the way that I handled that was I started a book, and it was a collaboration. So I gathered 21 people and we all wrote our stories of how we were waking up winning. And that's how I handle things that happen in my life. It's like I have to find that button to push to keep pushing forward. And that message, I can't change that message because I'll become a hypocrite if I'm telling my clients to get over it and keep going, but yet I'm unable to do that. So that just doesn't work.
And that's important because you have to be able to live it before you can recommend it to people, because like you said, otherwise that's hypocrisy really, because you don't really know if it works. You read it somewhere but you don't really know if it's effective, if it works, and the in and out of that. And that's very important. So would you say that and that's what if I understand correctly, is that the spiritual side have actually helped you a lot in your business in itself, and it's been a strong part of what part of what you've been doing. And how do you see it, influencing your clients as well? Because obviously, if you're spiritual, there's this energy that presence that you have to deal with. So how did how do you actually select people that you work with? Because you don't, I suppose you don't work with everybody that actually come to you. So how do you select? Is the spiritual part also something that you take into account?
Well, there's a difference between spirituality and religion. I'm not into religion. I'm not into, how you do your faith. When I speak of spirit, I mean my spirit resonates, how I resonate with my ancestors. I do a lot of meditating. So my foundation is Mother Earth, the sun, the moon, and being grounded, I find myself at a place of peace. So I'm never hunting for a client. I'm allowing those clients to seek me, and then we go through a process of getting to know one another and seeing if we are a good fit for one another. But my spirituality is at the top of my list because that is all I am. We are spiritual beings having this earthly experience. And because I so wholeheartedly believe that, that's why I don't get so frustrated when I see through the normal eyes of what's going on. It's like I see a much deeper deeper feeling and emotion comes to me, because I am spiritual. I'm not, I'm in this human form. I'm having this human experience. I have these human assignments to fulfill. But at the end of the day, I have to always honor my spirit. And when I say my spirit, like that thing that we have as women, we call it intuition, in your shana na 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 na, the people can relate to that. But that small quiet voice within is our lighthouse to how we perform. So if we're willing to get quiet, see, I meditate every day. I might say, like Saturday, I might say, well, I'm meditating all day. I'm not doing anything. So that's where I have the discipline of understanding that my spirituality is my lifeline. That's my oxygen. And after that, everything else comes after that. That's what brings financial reward. That's what brings relationships into my life. But if I'm not grounded in my spirituality, then nothing happens. Nothing can move. I'm chasing stuff, and I'm not those days are long gone. I did that in my 20s. So now I'm just calm enough to know that whatever I'm supposed to do, I'll do it. Whomever is supposed to be working with me will come and work with me. We'll get the results that we need, and we'll move on, and we'll grow together, and that's just how my life is.
And it's really powerful. It's really powerful because, especially in this competitive environment, there's a lot of chasing, a lot of chasing, people chasing, customer, people chasing there and, wanting to get rich quickly and not really, listening to themselves, like you said, listening to their spirit, listening to their heart, and really looking at the intuition and really start to look at first, emit the right energy, emit the right signal so that you can attract the right thing, be it material thing, money, or the right spirit, the right people who are going to be part of your life. And that's a very important part that sometimes a lot of people don't understand, is that, it's not just about everything material that we see outside. There's a lot of things happening inside and in our mind, and there's also, like you said, the spirit as well to really look at. So that's so very powerful. And I see that Reverend Kenya is here, greeting everyone, and she's excited about the collaboration book that you were talking about. And Brenda, there is platinum vibes here.
Ooh,
yes, there is. Yes, there is. Thank you, Brenda. It's really a deep conversation that we're having today with the Motivational Queen, and I'm really happy we've been able to have this conversation today. So we're going to have our last break and come back, to conclude on this conversation, very deep conversation, an important conversation for all of us. And I hope, the listeners and people who are going to watch the replay are going to have, are going to learn from all of this and be able to relate. But also, if they want more information, contact Wanda directly. But for now, we're going to have a break, and then we'll be back and finish the show.
Some build, others tear down. Some take risks, others critique the risk takers. Some pursue the infinite, others settle for a life of limitation. Some make change, others complain that things are no longer the same. Some help people grow, others think that your loss is their gain. Some learn from misfortune, others become held down by it. Some turn fear into opportunity, others avoid the unknown. Some never stop learning, others think they have all the answers. Some do, others talk. Some give, others take. Some live, others wish. Some see an opportunity, others see an obligation. Some work toward the possibility of excellence, others run from the possibility of defeat. Some fall and get back up, others stay where they are so that they never have to worry. about leaving their feet. Some embrace the elements, others take shelter. Some search, seek, and discover, others wait to be told. Some perform, others watch. Some persist, others stop. Some make the most of every single day. And others watch those very same days go by. So which one are you? What will you create with the pieces presented to you? Not tomorrow or the next day, but right now and every second moving forward. Will you build or tear down, take the easy road or the road less traveled? When all is said and done and you've come to the end of your story, what will it say?
So I'm back. A very powerful video. And so I'm asking you the question, what will be your story? When you get to the end of, the road, what will be your story? What will be your legacy?
Wow, that is such a powerful video. I'm like sitting here like, oh my goodness. For me, I want my story to be that she came, she showed up, she showed out, she poured from her heart, she gave what she could, she served well. That's what I want my story. I don't want to leave any stones unturned to doing the things that I want to do to help be a blessing to other people. Every day I work on my story. Every single day I'm working on that dash between life and death. And I said it was like kind of like my commitment to the 100 days of motivation to manifestation. I said to the team, I said, if I'm not here, then that means that the internet has failed me, or I'm dead, or I'm dead. It's no in between, So, and you know that we always have a workaround with the internet, but I mean, towers have to be down, I'm saying like no service on my phone, no service on my laptop. I didn't have time to run over to my sister's house to use their, technology. I mean, I will try. And that's kind of like pushing that try beyond a try and just being a conqueror. That's what I want my story to demonstrate, that I gave it all I got. I put it all on the line. I was that risk taker. I was that person that had high faith, that refused to yield. That I was that toy in the fair that kept getting hit upside the head, but yet I kept popping back up. I want my story to be that I didn't just live I didn't just aspire to make a living. I aspired to make a difference. That's what I want my story to demonstrate, that I stayed on that path.
And I really love it when you say, I didn't actually aspire just to make a living, but I aspired to make a difference. And that's what it's all about. It's really about making a difference and making sure we leave a positive legacy. And like Les Brown say, we have to die empty. We have to give it all. We don't need to keep even one drop. We have to give
Absolutely.
it all. And I love, I have my own motto, which is don't leave anything on the table of life. Nothing. Don't leave anything. Just put everything, and then you've gave it all your energy. So it's been a great conversation, very deep conversation, and I hope the audience actually loved it. And one of the things that I think they probably want to know is, how to contact you, because it's a very important conversation right now, and we really need to understand, what how we're going to navigate, especially for those who are really unsure and really hesitant in everything that they do. So I think they need help. And so how do they connect with you? So I see that there's the website here. So if you want to connect with Wanda, the website is here, and let me just make sure that it's I will put it here, and then there's the phone number as well, and the email that I'm gonna also put here, so that you get the opportunity to get in contact with her as you can. So that's the email. So if you really want to continue this conversation, because 1 hour is always very short, so don't hesitate to contact the motivational queen, because as I said, she is a real queen of motivation. And if you're really looking for this push, for this never ever give up spirit to build up, then you have to connect with her. And there's also the website, which is going below, if you want to get in contact with her, www.iamenough365.com. Please just have a look and check as well. So don't hesitate to do that. So before we leave, Wanda, I wanted to ask you, what is your message for the audience today before we leave this platform?
My message would be to always see your value and to always wake up winning. When you realize how you had to fight to get here, how there was a lot of choices, but you chose life and life chose you. So you have to act accordingly. Always wake up winning and know that you are more than enough.
So make sure you know your value, and always wake up winning, and you are more than enough. So very powerful message. That's one that is leaving us today. And I really hope that, you're going to have the opportunity to just do it, because that's the most important thing. You have to keep, this winning spirit alive and never, ever give up. And please, if you know somebody who need this message, if you know somebody that, this message is going to help, please share the videos, share this message from Wanda, and make sure they connect with her as well, because that's very important that we stay, positive, and that's very important that, we leave a positive legacy, and understand that, we have the power. The power is ours, and we have to step into this power, step into our greatness, and understand that we are enough. And so that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to Cameroon in West Africa, and we're gonna go to another generation, so a young entrepreneur in Africa, in Cameroon, and understand, the key challenges that they are facing there, the youth is facing there, as far as employment and entrepreneurship is concerned. So that's all for today. I wish you all, to have a great day. For those who are in North America, great afternoon in Europe and in Africa, and good night for people in this part of the world. And thank you so much, Wanda, for all the inspiration, for the knowledge shared.
Thank you.
And really for, dropping all of those, knowledge, all of this knowledge, and also this wisdom that we all need right now as we navigate through this pandemic and uncertain times. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day. And we have a last person with a long message. So James Wood, the girl will always remain the same, but the people of the world will never change. So we are going to have destruction. I don't know why, to change as it in an individual. So we're gonna leave on a positive note. But for us, so goodbye, and may God bless you all. See you all and tomorrow, and please, share and do watch parties so that this message don't stay with you and this message gets spread all over. So take care and bye-bye.
Bye.